Hey guys, Gurunlian here. As promised, that my first video would be about my story on how I became an IFBB pro. Most of you already know the titles that I've won, but you don't know how it all started. So I want to talk to you guys about that. Basically, it started when I was a teenager, around grade 7, grade 8. I was always very into playing sports and so on, but I didn't have the best physique. And like a lot of teenagers do, I was getting picked on in the locker room because of my shape. I had a bit of a pot, had what you call bitch tits, and kids would make fun of me, and that was the first spark that made me want to do a fitness competition one day to prove all these kids who bullied me wrong. So that was always in the back of my mind, and I got even more into sports. Played basketball, soccer, badminton, volleyball, you name it, I played. The other thing that sparked my interest in getting to a high level in some kind of a sport was my dad. He played on Team Canada for basketball, and he played in World Championships, Olympics, and so on, playing against guys like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, Magic Johnson, etc. So even though he never put any pressure on me to achieve anything in basketball or any other sport for that matter, I put that pressure on myself. And I always wanted to achieve an international level of athletics in some sport. So I tried basketball. I figured out pretty quickly that I wasn't going to get there. One, because I'm too short. Two, because I wasn't talented enough. So I switched over to soccer, which I was better at. Played at a AAA level throughout my teenage years, but again, I knew I was never going to get the international level. So then in the year 2000, I joined Powerflex Gym, where I was already in decent shape at that point. And the owners of the gym used to always prepare teams to compete in bodybuilding competitions. So they approached me to be one of their junior lightweight competitors. And having decided back when I was a 13-year-old teenager that I would do a fitness competition, I thought this was my opportunity to do it. So I said yes, I agreed to it. And I loved the experience. It was a great challenge. It was probably the toughest thing I ever did. And I did the Coop Pro Gym at the time in 2001 and placed second as a junior lightweight. And then my competitive spirit kicked in as the next spark to want to achieve more. I wanted to win. I wanted to win a provincial title. I was really disappointed that I didn't get that one because a lot of people felt that I should, but you know how it goes. So I went back in 2002, did my own prep, tried really hard, placed fourth, was really disappointed again. But I wasn't going to quit. I said, this is going to happen one way or another, I'm going to make it happen. Took some time off, got ready in 2003 again, and finally won my first provincial title. Super excited, very emotional, totally broke down backstage. Also because my grandfather was coming to my first two shows, and in 2002 he passed away, and he couldn't be there for 2003 when I did win, so that pretty much got to me as well. And then once the dust settled and my competitive spirit kicked in again, and I wanted to achieve the next one. I wanted to win a national title. So a bunch of the guys who had won this provincial title in 2003 were going to the nationals, and I said, you know what, let's do it. So I went and I got a good reality check that I was not ready to compete at this level. Placed, I think, 6th out of 8 competitors in the bantamweight class, and after that, I said, okay, it's time to take some time off and really build some quality muscle. So I didn't compete until 2007, where I went back to the provincials again as a lightweight now. So I put on some size. And 2007 was a bittersweet year because I did win the provincial title, went on to the nationals and beat out some really, really good guys there and actually won my first national title. A great feeling. First time I ever won nationals. And it qualified me to compete at the World Championships in Italy. Unfortunately, what happened is that I got really sick. I suffered pulmonary embolism and almost lost my life. And when the doctor came and told me what was wrong, my first reaction is, does this mean I can't train anymore? So he's like, no, you can't train anymore. You can't do much of anything. I had to go on blood thinners for 6 months. I was devastated. I went through a major depression, lost a lot of size, lost a lot of weight. But again, that setback sparked me to get healthy, get back, and try it again. I'm a strong believer in the fact that everything happens for a reason, and I think this happened for a reason for me to be stronger mentally to get ready for the next show. So took the whole year off. 2009 went right back to nationals again, won my class again, qualified for the World Championships, and got to compete at a World Championship in Madrid, Spain. Great experience, didn't place, I was totally outmatched, but for me I had finally reached that international status, so I was super happy with that. Took another year off after that to put on some more size and move up a class, went up to welterweight, and at that point I knew I wasn't gonna be an IFBB pro in bodybuilding as a natural bodybuilder, impossible. So I said, let me change federations. I went with the IDFA, and within 2 months I won my pro card with them in the welterweight class. So I was pretty happy with that. I finally achieved the pro card, even though it wasn't the big one, which is the IFBB. So I was about ready to retire from competing altogether. I had done about 14 shows at that point in the span of 8-10 years. And what happened then is the men's physique division came out. And when that division came out, two good friends of mine, Greg Ulis and Maria Lagos, Greg being an bodybuilding IFBB pro, thought I had the perfect package for this division. I was a bit hesitant going into it, but they really pushed me to do it, and I said, okay, let's do it, let's try it out. So having won nationals a year ago, I was qualified to go straight to nationals in 2012 for the men's physique, just by crossing over. So I went there and brought in a great package, placed second in my height class by 1 point, in a division where a lot of people thought I should have won. Well, you know how things go. There was a really close race in that division, so it is what it is. But again, that loss sparked my competitive spirit once again, and I said, you know what, I'm so close to this, I can get this pro card, which is the IFBB pro card, which is the biggest one in the world to get. So I said, let's take some time off, get ready, and we'll go to the world qualifier in 2013. Went there, won my class, but didn't win the overall. So missed out the pro card again. And at that point, I knew the nationals were in August, and I was starting off a summer camp for kids, which was my first year doing it, and it was going to be a ton of work. Plus, I was training 8 athletes for their first provincial show, and that was going to be very time consuming. So I didn't really want to do the show, but again, the supporting people around me really pushed me to go and do it. They're like, you're next in line, you got to do it. So I said, okay, I'll do it. It was a big struggle, very demanding physically and mentally. But I went through with it, brought in a really good package again, and everything came together basically in this very moment.
Our men's physique overall, and the winner of our first IFBB pro card is from Quebec.
So that's my story, guys. That's how I became an IFBB pro. I'm gonna be doing my pro debut in 2014. I have 4 shows lined up. May 3rd, Pittsburgh Pro. May 10th, the Dallas Pro. May 17th, New York Pro. And then finally, May 31st, the Toronto Pro. I'll be doing a video log for you guys about my contest prep on how my nutrition, my training, and the things I go through on a daily basis. So stay tuned.